All right, I want to welcome everybody here to a discussion with Dr. Wesley Phillips. So, Dr. Phillips, he is a former Secret Service agent. He also worked at the Housing and Urban Development. Currently, he is the Deputy Program Manager of Cybersecurity at the Department of Treasury as a government contractor. He has a doctorate in management. He has a master's in information system security. He has multiple graduate certificates. He has an undergraduate degree, I believe, in criminal justice. And he has over 100 professional certifications and certificates relating to cybersecurity or security in general. They range from from items dealing with, I guess, that you've done with the NSA in terms of, was that telecommunications?
Technical surveillance countermeasures.
Okay. And then other ones that you may be familiar with, such as like the CSSP and stuff like that. He's also he has his project management certification and numerous others. So I'll turn this over to Dr. Phillips, and I'll let him continue.
Okay, thanks, Mo, or Dr. Dawson. Time is it? Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Wesley Phillips. Feel free to call me Doc West. Most people call me that. I put together a really short PowerPoint, just 7 slides. For the most part, I would like to make this interactive and be able to allow you to ask questions if you have any. And who knows, maybe we can both learn something from one another. So let me see if I can present now so I can show you this screen, your entire screen.
Yes, you should be able to present now, and then you can open your presentation. And then once you have your presentation open, then just share the actual application.
Share the actual application, okay. From the beginning, let's see, which screen do I want to show? Screen 2 or screen 3? Okay, it's taking a while. It's like flipping around. Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see it.
It's coming. Does it say the importance of standing out? Outstanding. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely different from Zoom. But anyway, that is me, Dr. Wesley Phillips. I have a few certifications, and as Mo said, I'm the Deputy Program Manager of Cybersecurity with Department of Treasury. I manage approximately 50 plus cybersecurity analysts, from software developers, systems administrators, and the like. We are extremely busy. We manage real threats around the world. No one would think that Department of Treasury is a target, right? That's a joke. But anyway, we are very busy with analyzing our email systems and etc. From real cybersecurity threats. I only have 7 slides, and for the most part, we're just going to talk. Okay. Clicking on it, hoping it goes right. So, how many people here are certified in something? In cybersecurity, project management, etc.? Somebody said, yep, that's Andres. It's okay to speak, right?
Yes, it's okay to speak. People, if you're online, feel free to talk. We want this to be more of a conversation.
Oh yeah, I'm not a lecturer. I'm not doing that today. We're just gonna have a conversation. We can toggle that mute switch, that mute button. How many people here are interested in becoming certified if you are not?
I want to become certified.
In what?
I don't know. That's why I'm here.
All righty then. So I have something for you, Karen. Thank you. Anyone else?
I can go. I'm working on my OSCP at the moment.
So am I. You and I are right here.
I should be taking it in December, so
nice.
We'll see how that goes.
I'll talk about the OSCP to others just in case they don't know, but that is definitely one that I hope to have by February. So I'm right behind you.
Nice.
All righty, awesome. Anyone else? One more?
I don't have any certifications yet, but I definitely would like to, especially in my current profession of being a firefighter paramedic. I'm probably looking at being a contractor.
All right, thanks, Antoine. Ironically, two of my former students both work in the medical field. They are arguably, they're definitely in the top 3 of the best cybersecurity people that I know. That went from, because of that critical thinking skill, that problem solving ability that you acquire in your profession, which many of you probably acquired that same or similar type of skill that is very important in cybersecurity. Okay, I don't want to stop anyone else from saying anything. I'll give you 5 seconds to say something. If not, I'm gonna go to the next slide. You got up 3, 2, hitting the button. Okay, so just a short introduction about me. I'm originally from New York City. Can you see my screen?
Hello? Yeah, so Wes, real quick.
Yeah.
So we're looking at your slides, but it doesn't show you're moving between slides. It's still showing you that you're on the first slide.
Got it. Thank you very much. No wonder no one said anything crazy. Okay,
Hello?
so
Can
that's
you hear me?
I can't hear you, whoever said that.
Okay, I was having mic issues the entire time you're doing your countdown.
I got you. I know like this.
Like, no.
Go ahead, share what you want to share.
So I just got my network security plus book. So I'm going to be studying to get my network security or security plus, not network security, security plus certification. And I already work in the industry and I'm transitioning my career more into security, as what I'm currently doing now is more security focused.
Okay, great. Are you like what are you doing? Analyst work or policy, or what are you doing?
I'm a systems engineer, but more specifically, I'm a Windows Server engineer and an Active Directory engineer, and I do with identity management.
Oh, okay, I am. Awesome. Well, I'm sure you'll knock out that security plus. Then there's a lot of Active Directory in there and password history and length and all of that stuff right there. So
I eat, sleep, and breathe that shit.
Awesome. Well, then you're in the right place at the right time. Okay, Mo. How do I share the second?
Yeah, quick note. We got to worry about the profanity because I am going to share this with the entire college.
Yeah, my bad.
When I start recording, you can talk freely or whatever you do normally.
Alrighty then. So, how do I show the second screen, Mo?
Yeah. So all you got to do, you should do a reshare and just share your application because it'll be easier, and you can just share PowerPoint so we just all see what's going on PowerPoint, no matter what screen you're on or you move to.
Okay. What is reshare? You want me to stop presenting and then share?
Yeah. Stop presenting and then share again, and then when you share again, you should have options.
Okay. I like Zoom better, but it's great. This is good.
Yeah, so instead of entire screen, go to a window, and then on window, then select PowerPoint. So go to present now.
Got a window.
And then it says window, and the PowerPoint should be up there.
Window, got it. I see it, and then hit this and share.
Yep, perfect.
Okay, you see it now? What does it say? Okay, so yeah, that's right. I got certified, right? So all I wanted to do was tell you a short story, and also tell you something that happened to me. In summary, you know how you just try to transition from one job to another job, and you're like, man, I can't get hired. I don't understand it. I have a degree. I have experience, but someone told me I was trying to become a chief security officer. And I knew, well, I have a lot of security experience. I've been working in security since 1989 to present, kind of aging myself now. And I could not get the job that I wanted. And that lady told me that, she said, you have the clearance, you have the experience, you have the degrees, but you don't have the certifications. So I'm scratching my head, and I can honestly tell you I was a little bit offended. Now, forget that. I was very offended. why can't I do that job? I've been doing that job, you know, and I got in my feelings. I was like, I work for the U.S. Secret Service. You mean to tell me I can't be a chief security officer for an organization only because I'm not certified? And in the end of the day, that was the motivation that I needed to seek how to get certified. At that time, certification courses were extremely expensive, right? You know, $4,000, $5,000, depending on where you go. And then you had to study really hard for a week in a boot camp. And then, you know, you have to pay $600 for an exam. And if you fail it, guess what? You have to pay another $600 for the same exam. And if you fail it, the same thing repeats. So it was very frustrating. And personally, at the time, I just didn't have the funds. So I had to seek other ways to get it done. So, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what to do. You know, $4,000 is like buying a good little small used car. And I didn't really have those funds at the time. So I went to the library and I went online and I bought a few books and I just started cracking them open and reading. And as I read, I typed up a PowerPoint presentation as if I was going to teach it to my students or teach it to someone. And I started to maintain the information that was in the books. And then I actually started teaching it because I was already a college professor. I already had a master's degree and was working on my doctorate degree at the time. And I just learned this material in addition to the fact that I had experience, but they weren't really looking at that. The job announcements were looking for what I call E square, C square, which I will talk about today. And I'm going to give you all an exercise to help answer some of your questions, such as what Karen says. She doesn't really know where to start. So hopefully with some of the things I'm going to show you, and I literally have 6 more slides left, we can get into this thing right here. But at one time in my life, and even now, I had a really good problem to have. This is about when I finished like 3 certifications. I had this really good problem to have. I was getting as much as 200 job opportunities and offers a week because I had the certifications that people were looking for. And I was like, wow, this certification thing really has a lot of value. But keep in mind too, the certifications are like the stock market. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. Some industries are, you gotta be certified. A lot of other industries, we need people with experience, you know? So you have to have a good balance. And that's why I call it E squared, C squared, which stands for experience, education, certifications, and clearance. Because the interesting thing is, and I live in Virginia, you know, this is basically governmentville. There's a whole bunch of government jobs here. So the clearance is not always necessary, but in this area is highly sought after. So experience, education, certifications, and clearances. That's a good balance to have. So guess what? You can play the game or not. I'm not saying that you won't be able to get great employment or a job until you can find the career that you actually want. But if you really want to stand out, if you really want to get an opportunity to make the money that you want to make, to be able to live how you want or need to live, you can make this decision, because to aim towards a certain goal and get to it. That's what I did. In the DMV houses, if anyone lives here or ever been here, Mo's been in my, Dr. Maurice Dawson, excuse me, has been in my house, and it's not the biggest house in the neighborhood. It's not the smallest either, but it was well over $500,000. That's a lot of money. To me, it's really not worth that, although I like it. It's a pretty nice house. But it costs so much to live, no matter where we live. I don't know your individual situations, whether you have family, children, or a spouse, but you do have, I'm going to guess, at least a bill that you need to pay, which is for your degree. And the Department of Education is going to come after you if you take out any student loans, etc. I'm going to move on to the next slide so we can get into the meat and potatoes. So Mo, what do I have to do? Just stop sharing again and then click the window?
No, you just got to move forward.
Move forward. Okay, here we go. Like that, right?
Correct.
Okay, a little bit about me. I'm originally from New York City. I served in the United States Marine Corps. After the Marine Corps, I worked for this government agency called Immigration and Naturalization Service, which is part of the Department of Justice. Then I went to Department of Treasury, United States Secret Service, which ultimately became Homeland Security. I attended, well, one of the many schools I went to was the National Security Agency's Technical Surveillance Countermeasures. Has anyone ever heard of TSCM before? Maybe not. A no would have sufficed. But anyway, technical surveillance countermeasures is, and they call it cyber TSCM today. It was basically information security. So what I did was I provided audio countermeasures. I checked for bugs. I sniffed the airwaves and computers. We did Wireshark. We did physical security, telephones. We did a lot of information security to protect the President of the United States' speech. Is very important, as you can probably imagine. He's a VIP, and we had to protect him even from himself, his family from themselves. Everyone uses mobile devices and cell phones and regular telephones. And I can honestly tell you that, well, people are always listening, especially when the president comes in town. And that was a part of my team's job and my job. And I did it for better over 13, 15 years or so. Just gonna go through this about 30 more seconds. All the things that you see and don't see at the White House, I was actually in charge of the physical security there for at least 4 years before I did TSCM. What else? Let's see, I attended Colorado Technical University. I have 4 degrees, associates in criminal justice, bachelor's in business administration and IT. I have a master's in project management and information systems security, and I earned my doctorate degree in management with Mo. Well, he has a different doctorate, but we went to school together. Dr. Dawson, my bad. Some of my skills, my hands-on skills, from everything from project management to PowerShell, Linux, Python, command prompts, Active Directory. I have a lot of hands-on skills. So if you get certified, make sure you can do the job. The last thing you want to do is get certified, get on the job. They want you to do something and you know nothing. Ironically, at Department of Treasury, I trained the tier 1 analysts, so we all know the same thing, no matter what they know. So we do basic Linux, Python, command prompt, PowerShell. We teach them how to take tickets, phone calls, etc. I want to keep going. Kali Linux is one of my favorite friends. On my weekends, I actually do some OSCP-like stuff, such as Mr. Ali here. And I teach a bunch of people on my Patreon. I teach them hands-on cybersecurity. We do a lot of Linux. We do a lot of capture the flag. We have a lot of fun. What else? Here's some of my certifications here. These are just 10. I think by number, I have 180 certifications and certificates. I'm a lifelong learner. I also own a company called Professional Certifications and Consulting Services, and I am the primary instructor. So I had to be certified in something before I can just teach something. I read a lot of certification books, and I'm always applying my hands-on skills so that I can continually improve. Fun times, I'm a musician. I sing, I teach vocal music. I've been doing martial arts since about 8 years old. So my son here is 16. He's kind of good. These are some of my students. Took them to their very first hackathon. They had no hands-on experience whatsoever. When we did our hackathon, they walked away. Oh my God, that was so exciting. We did everything from forensics to binary exploitation, web exploitation, cryptography, etc. It was a really good time. Anyway, that's a little bit about me. If there are any questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to click on the next slide. How many of you are familiar with the DoD, which is Department of Defense, 8140 or 8570? If you are not familiar with it, you need to become familiar with it. Why? Because the government, Department of Defense, is outlining the particular certifications that they are looking to hire. Contract companies, large and small, are looking to hire people with one or more of these certifications so that they can hire you to work as a contractor or just work with that company, or who knows, maybe even work with the government. By the way, Mo, if there's something in the chat, I can't see it, but if there's something there, let me know, okay?
Yes, just Andreas said, he knows it. So did Hannah. And
Okay.
so has everyone else who's taken any of my classes, because I mentioned this quite a bit.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. I think the other thing to add is that with these certifications, a lot of even commercial entities look at these certifications because they say, all right, well, CSSP, that's what we want. They basically follow a trend to what the federal government wants in terms of skills. And so I think that's one of the other things as well. So this list is pretty good in terms of income potential and pretty much gauging where you need to be at.
Exactly. And I have a little exercise for all of you that hopefully you will enjoy because it's very practical. I do it with my students as well. And any good instructor should definitely show you this because you're not just going to school just to go to school, hopefully. Hopefully you're going in to learn some skills and learn how to apply them in the workforce so that you can establish a great career and a legacy for your family, etc. So anyway, since Mo or Dr. Maurice has already told you about this, so you know about information assurance technology or the technical people, you have your managerial people, your architecture, security engineers in this area, you have your other cybersecurity positions over here. This is very important. I will show you some web links afterwards, but I don't want to, I want to get through these slides really quickly so I can entertain your questions. Clicking on the next slide, and I'm sure you've been shown this as well, but this is the NIST framework, cybersecurity framework, the workforce framework. There are so many positions out there that you may not have heard of or know what they fall under in cybersecurity. Some people say, well, I can't do cybersecurity. I don't want to do cybersecurity, but all you see is cybersecurity. Well, that means I'm probably going to do a job in cybersecurity. What positions are out there? Well, you can securely provision, operate and maintain, oversee and govern, protect and defend, etc. You can read the list yourself, and you see all these different types of positions here. For example, I worked a little bit in risk management. I've done some cybersecurity defense analysis. I've done cyber investigations, even digital forensics. You may even cross within different categories of these workforce categories. So please feel free to familiarize yourselves with them. And Mo, if you want, I can always send you the links because I have them here to click on and look at. But I'm going to keep going through the slide and be done. I'm on slide 4. I'm going to get to slide 7 because time is tight. Here's one example. There are many vendors out there. CompTIA is just one of them, right? They have aligned their certifications to the NICE framework or the NIST cybersecurity framework. NICE stands for National Initiative for Cybersecurity Education. And as you can see, investigate, oversee, protect, etc. There is a website here that you can click on and you can look to see which of these certifications fall under the particular category or the series of certifications that fall in each category. Again, keep in mind, as I stated in the beginning, okay, you can take a certification exam and pass and put the letters behind your name, but make sure you do either some virtual labs or maybe volunteer to go get some real world experience. Maybe conduct a project on your own in your home and document it. Non-paid experience is just as good as paid experience. It's just you need to articulate it and know what you're talking about, and make sure you can articulate that during the interview, because all of these things that you can do, you can talk about that in such a way that you never know. I've actually had some supervisors that interview me and interview other people, and they said, so how do you change directories in Linux? And I had to tell them or show them. And then they would get more difficult and more difficult to see what I knew. And that's when that good problem to have came in. They hired me and I was happy. Okay, if there are any questions, again, make sure you shout them out. I'm on slide 6, I think. Right now, education, experience, certifications, and clearances. What I would like for you all to do, right? Let me see if I can stop sharing and present my other screen. Okay, let me pull this down, pull down my Kali Linux that I had open, drag this screen over here to the right, and I'll demonstrate as I show. Let me hit my present now, a window. This should do it. Do you all see Indeed.com? Awesome. So let's just take one of my, let's take this. Because I know at least one person is working towards a Security Plus now, right? Now I'm going to type in Washington, D.C. because that's where I am. That's the nearest biggest city. You all can do the same thing. Type in one certification in Indeed.com, and let's see how many jobs are in the area. Okay? While I'm demonstrating this, there are approximately 41,174 jobs right now in the DMV, we call it Maryland, D.C., Virginia area, positions that are looking for someone with a Security Plus certification. We can see the compensation, but let's look at this here. I'm going to Google, and I'm going to type in Security Plus average salary. Currently, the average salary for a person that has a Security Plus is $81,100. I don't know how you feel about that, but that could be really great for some people and not so great for others. That's okay. We all have to start somewhere, though. Now, that's an average. So it could be anywhere from 60,000 maybe to 100,000, depending on your experience that you have. I will tell you, several years ago, I would say at least 3 or 4 years ago, if you earned a Security Plus, the average salary was approximately 90,000 without experience. They were just paying for the person with the cert. They are still paying for the people with the certification. But again, remember, you have to have that E square, C square balance about you. You don't need a clearance, but you do need some experience, some hands-on lab skill, something that will equate to you knowing how to think critically, how to solve problems, and apply whatever they may give you as soon as that you walk in the door and you're on the payroll. You can do this with many other certs. Let's see, I have a PMP, for example. PMP average salary is currently $112,000, right? You can look up, say, the CISSP, $125,000. And this is as of November 28th. What else? Let me see, CISM, $127,000. So what I would do is, and it's up to you, you can do whatever you like, but find out the average compensation a year, then go to Indeed.com and look and see how many jobs, type in the certification, and look and see the amount of jobs that are hiring right now. Then look through the positions, find a position that interests you, look through the skills, the qualifications that they require. Ooh, a lot of them require 5 years. Some may require a bachelor degree or a master degree. So you know what? Guess what? Just because you're certified, you may not be done. You may be able to get employed, but maybe you want to stand out differently and make a little bit more money or do something else that won't feel like work, whether it pays you or not. It's up to you. Then you look and see minimum qualifications, 5 years of this, doing all of this. Here's some other certifications. These are preferred, not required. Okay, minimal stuff. And just work it like that. I know your university and your instructors, they give you all a lot of stuff, and hopefully you are not just learning what they teach you, but you are taking that outside of work and learning more on your own too, because it's going to make you stand out. It's going to make you feel more confident. You're going to understand and know how things work. You have to have a little bit of a cybersecurity professional needs to have a little bit of IT, some development skill, some programming, some scripting skill, people skills, critical thinking, problem solving technique, and whatever else that you bring to the table, because you're going to be working with people. You're going to be working with people, processes, technology. You're going to need to understand how to flow really smoothly with that. Okay, I talked a lot. What questions does anyone have?
I guess where to begin as far as, like I said, someone that's new. I was talking to Dr. Mo. I actually ran into Dr. Mo on accident last year, but I'm glad I bumped into him in the hallway. But I mean, I'm working on my Security Plus right now. It's just once I get it, is it just okay? I just pick something just to start the experience process and kind of just work on other things on the side as I gain the experience and then move on from there.
So I would love to consult with you and talk to you and help you with that. I'll give you an example. And by the way, I pulled up my company website just in case someone does want to reach out to me. It's probably better to email me and it'll come to me and I can respond to you. And I'll talk to you for free. I'm not charging anybody anything. I do a lot of things for people. This is the COVID season. A lot of people are looking for employment. They may not have the money to pay for these top dollar certification boot camps. A boot camp could be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500, right? We have things out there like Udemy and other resources. You got to pick and choose your weapon carefully, I'll tell you that. But there are some reputable entities where you can learn this knowledge. Okay, so once you get that theory done, okay, you got the cert. You should have already started, to be quite frank, all of you. But you need that hands-on experience. One of the things I do is I offer labs. There are virtual labs, and you do them from home or do them with me and just start learning how to manipulate the different tasks relative to that certification and beyond. Another thing that I do that's actually pretty fun, I think I have the slide over here. Let me pull it over for you. And this is designed to help people to acquire experience. And I think it's very affordable. I can't find it. Okay, so here it is right here. I have a Patreon channel, right? My Patreon is designed to help people in tough times in COVID. For example, $25 a month. We meet every weekend. You can do all the work in the middle of the week. What do? I do live training. Let me give you an example. I actually teach people, say, basic Linux. We do Kali Linux. We'll do PowerShell. We'll do command prompt. I do some capture the flag assignments. I teach them how to get their hands-on experience. I give them problems to do, real problems to solve, because that critical thinking and those hands-on skills are what you need to get in the door. Within 2 to 3 months, I would say you will be so well on your way. You will be just right. And let me give you an example. My tier 1 analysts, cybersecurity analysts, they were hired. Most of them came in with a Security Plus certification, and they were in the military, and they may have had a clearance. So they were awesome speakers. They were intelligent. They knew their stuff. They knew how to talk it, but a lot of them really didn't know. Most of them don't know how to do anything. They don't know Linux. They don't know PowerShell, command prompt. They just know the theory of, well, that's a firewall. This is intrusion detection system. This is intrusion prevention system. So what I do in this particular course here is I give people, I train them like I do my tier 1 analysts, and I give them that hands-on experience. We share screens all the time, back and forth. Hey, Doc West, I got this problem right here. I don't understand. And then I have a script of what you need to do before you talk to me, although you can talk to me in real time. I'm just gonna say, did you do this? And did you do that? I coach you. Just like if you were a track star, you do the running and I'm gonna coach you, you're gonna run, and I'm just gonna make sure that you can get there faster and become confident. From there, this is one way to get your hands-on experience. Other things you can do is volunteer. Go to your church, your local library, or your friend. Can you teach me how to do these things? The list goes on and on. But if you want to talk about your situation, it may be different from everyone else's. All of you can call me. It's okay. Mo has my number. Do you have any follow-up questions, or does anyone else have any questions?
No, I'm definitely I'll give you a call. I think I'm in a different situation than everyone else, but I'll get your information from Dr. Mo, and I'm definitely gonna give you a call.
Awesome. I will also say too that in my opinion, it is very important to learn at least one programming language, and I start everyone out with Linux. If you have a strong Linux foundation, and Linux is embedded in almost every digital device in the world. So I can show you so much of what to do, and it will give you, and your instructor, he's awesome in Linux. He can do everything. And I know that your instructors in your university are awesome. Get with the people you know. Mr. Ali, for example, he was talking about he's working towards his OSCP. That is Offensive Security Certified Professional. That is one of the signature exams and signature certifications to work towards. I'm also working towards mine. I'm looking forward to take the test between January and February. What's really cool about it is there is a 24-hour exam. They proctor you, they watch you. It is hands-on. You have to hack into X amount of boxes, earn X amount of points. 70 is passing. And if you can't do it, they tell you to, Mr. Ali probably knows, try harder, which does not make you feel good, but those are some of the things that I teach. And I empower you to learn, because most of the best hackers I know, and I know one that's internationally recognized, he went to no school. He learned it on his own. Cracked the book, found something online, did it, tried it, broke some stuff, was lucky enough not to go to jail, and now he is a consultant, and he hacks places like Vegas on a regular and other big reputable government agencies and corporations. The hands-on stuff is, I hate to say it, is actually easy now that I know what I know. What I try to do now is coach people so they can learn how to do it too. Some of you, if not all of you, may know how to do it too. But the thing is, don't be afraid. Make sure you understand how to not get in trouble legally, because hacking into something, you know, and there are red teams and blue teams, purple teams, there are all kinds of teams. But if you're going to do hacking stuff, you're going to have to be able to get a signed contract and permission to actually do something, and then you have to write up write up your notes in your report. And in fact, the term that I actually like to use more is security researcher, more so than a hacker, because you have penetration testers, ethical hackers, you got the so-called bad hackers, which ironically started off as good hackers back in the 80s and so forth. You know, many of those people that started Microsoft and Apple computers that we use today. So anyway, any other questions?
So my friend has a question, but his mic is broken, so I'll ask it for him.
Okay.
So he started an entry-level position at a company, but it's not like cybersecurity related. So he's asking how he can start moving his career in the direction of cybersecurity.
Because we only have a few minutes, I would ask that you have him call me so that we can talk, and I will do my best to coach him. I'm going to put my number in the chat for you all. There it is right there.
Hey, Wes, this is Mo. Don't worry about the time constraint. The time constraint is artificial. So if you have to take more time than needed, it's okay.
Okay, well, I only do what you all want me to do. I'm
do
more
whatever.
interested in listening to what you all have to say at this point, but I can coach your friend and see what his situation is and give the best advice that I can. And I have so here's another thing too. Most certification courses, except for say OSCP and all of those certs, are 1 week courses if you went to a boot camp, which I'll be honest with you, a boot camp is rushed, it's fast, it's too fast, and it's like drinking from a fire hose. You will need to do some studying beyond that. And most of my students want to earn their certifications fast because I need a job. I'm losing my job. COVID is happening. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have 5 people like that right now that I'm coaching. So I put them on a faster track, and I have them on a track where they are doing labs first. Then they do the course and learn the theory. They sit for the exam, they pass it, and simultaneously they meet me on the weekends, and we are doing capture the flag. We are doing hacking into boxes. We are doing as many hands-on things that I can teach them so that they can be confident during the interview and when the first day on the job. And I argue that they're going to have just as much experience as someone that's been on the job for 1 and 2 years. But in my experience, they're going to have probably more experience than someone who just became a brand new cybersecurity analyst and they have to be there for 2 years and socially engineer the tier 2 and tier 3 analysts to say, can you show me how to do that? And what they do is they say, okay, here's a Network Plus book. Here's a certified ethical hacker book. Study the course. When you finish that, come see me. They want you to get certified. They want to see what you know how to teach yourself. Most of this teaching is you teaching yourselves. Getting certified, as we saw, has value. Government agencies are like, we need people that are certified and with this many years of experience or more or less. What are you going to do to get that? No one can do that for you. The onus is on you, on us, me, anybody. We've got to figure out what projects can we do at home or for someone else. What can we do? Because if you do something, you can present something. Any more questions?
No, I think I just want to make this statement. So for next year's Shy CyberCon, I'm going to purchase 25 seats with Wesley's company. So that would basically mean 25 people will have paid services to work with Wesley. So I'll have at least 25 seats for next year. And Wesley, that's for 2 months, right?
No, they can They can come as long as you want them to.
Okay. So yeah,
So
we'll have at least 25 seats. So just know that they'll be available. So what I'm going to start doing is every year purchase these seats. So especially when you're towards the end of graduating or end of that semester, and you're trying to actually get employed somewhere, and you need to start focusing on these other items that Dr. Phillips talked about. This should help aid you in that final push. So you can be competitive, because I state this in a number of classes. Like, you have your degree, that's great, but a lot of people have college degrees. I mean, it's not nothing magical anymore. That's why, I always recommend grad school, because a bachelor's degree is like a high school diploma, unfortunately. But the certifications will be what sets you over the edge. And then also the experience. And there's tons of ways. And I like what Dr. Phillips said: do stuff for your church, volunteer. Myself, I have there's the USAID farmer to farmer items that you can do, whether it's virtual or actually going over to East West Africa, whatever. There's other organizations that may need your help, especially here. There's like police organizations that need actually help, maybe understanding what to do with the data analysis, looking at security. Maybe they had a breach, but they can't afford help. You could actually go help that individual, and you can count that on your resume's experience.
Thanks, Mo. That is the ticket there.
No problem. And Salehi has his hand raised.
Okay.
Yes. Hi. This is Mohammed Salehi. Thanks, Robster, for sending me the link. Actually, I was in the middle of a final exam, but I was trying to ask a question. At the degree that I'm getting at IIT, or a lot of the classmates probably I have in this session right now, the Masters of Cybersecurity or Cyber Forensic Studies, we are taking courses ranging from ethical hacking or penetration testing, all the way to database security, all the way to incident response, business continuity. It's a variety of defensive, offensive, and somewhere in the middle, software development. Our degree is, at least my degree, is not very focused specifically on ethical hacking or penetration. It's a lot of we have auditing, we have cybersecurity frameworks that we have to do research. So my question for you is, we graduate with a wide range of knowledge, and it's not specific to basically a CompTIA or Security Plus Plus certification or CCNA or something like that. So now the question is that, with our degree that we are graduating, what is the expectation of the market in the cybersecurity world? Are they expecting us to be pen testers? Are they expecting us to be cybersecurity analysts? Are they expecting us to be frame builders, or I don't know, auditors, or whatever on the security aspect of writing happening? So what is the expectation, and how can we achieve that before we graduate? Thanks.
Wow, that's a big question right there. It depends. It really depends. When you look for so this exercise that I did over here, can you see my screen still?
At the moment, it's just white.
It's just white? Okay, my bad. Let me see if I can find you again. Because all of a sudden you went away.
I'll answer your question real quick. So the way that the NSA, like we're designated by the NSA, Department of Homeland Security. So we're our particular program is designated for a few things out the NICE framework and the workforce, for the workforce and whatnot. The thing is, like, we provide all these classes so you get an overview of everything that's going on. But when you go to the market, you got to say, what do I want to do? You say, well, do I want to be a security engineer? Do I want to do database security? And it's up to you to take those extra steps to go ahead and specialize. That's the thing. So think of it as like, it's like punching, in the military, you call it punching holes, right? If you want to get promoted to like lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain, major, whatever, you have to have these particular billets and slots that you have to do to get promoted. Same thing with the GS scale. You have to do certain education, stuff like that. So consider like this degree is like one of the billets, right? You're fulfilling a billet to actually enter that market. And now if you want a particular job, to enter that particular job, now you say, all right, I want to do pen testing. Well, you need the OHCP. You need to go order Pen Test Plus or whatever. You need to get that extra certification to specialize that. If you look at that DoD 8570 or DoD 8140, each particular role says what certification needed. If you want to be an information assurance management, like the highest level, level 3, You need a CSSP, Certified Information Security Professional by IC Squared, or you can have a certified CISO certification to EC Council, or I believe CISM as well. So you would have to get
GSLC and a few
yeah.
others.
Yeah,
That's
so
exactly right.
Yeah, the degree the degree is a starting point. So the degree gets you to the point where you're able to take these exams, and you shouldn't have to study, I don't think, too hard, because you should be able to, like, oh, okay, we talked about this in Dr. Mo's class. I understand about this in networking. So imagine if you didn't do any university education, and now you're taking an exam that's focused on Linux, and you've never dealt with Linux at all. Now you're learning about subject versus object. How do subject versus object operate, moving between directories, shell scripts, bash scripts, all this stuff. That is why it's important. Like, while you're in your degree, learn as much as possible when you're doing cyber. Like, just, if you're paying attention, you should be okay. That's why when Dr. Phillips mentioned about the Security Plus, it should take a week, because you've covered all this stuff and much more in depth. But when you do these certifications are very focused on just that subject matter and the terminology. Like, I've written a number of test questions for the Certified Secure Software Lifecycle Professional, and that particular exam, those questions are built by individuals who have the CSLP, and they're just built from IC Squared, right? So all the terminology comes from that particular body of knowledge, as they call it.
Well,
yeah,
Dr. Mona, I see what you mean exactly, and I love what you said. Thanks for that. The question now I have is, when we were getting our bachelor's degree, and you mentioned before, bachelor's like high school. So now the persuasion that the IIT is giving us, get your master's degree, and now you'll be more specialized. Well, I have one more semester for my master's degree, and I'm still not that specialized. I'm not trying to blame IIT. I'm trying to say, well, if right now I need to know, right? Like as I graduate, I have to figure it out. Like, what aspect I want to do. Do I want to do like offensive security, defensive security, or policy security? So now that was the question. Like, but I already did that. You see what I mean?
So yeah, Mohammed.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, welcome to the plight that we all have. This is the thing we all need to figure out. So I'm into researching what that particular thing is that I want to do. You have to find your niche, whatever it is, whether it be pen testing or something else. But when I talked about E squared, C squared, here's an example. This particular position, and it's going to be different for every company, is requiring a bachelor's degree. And these are the requirements. We can't hire you. I wish I could tell you exactly what you want to hear, but I'm not going to lie to you. You have to do the research and see what's out there. That's not just you, it's everybody. This is the education portion. Now, this particular position is also looking for a clearance. Like I told you, the E squared, C squared. Here are the recommended or the desired certifications. They're also looking for, you can probably not have the desired certifications and get the position. And then there is actually experience. They're articulating in writing the experience that they want you to have. This is a public trust clearance. Here are the required experiences that they're looking for. You can do that. You just need someone to coach you to that. Don't be frustrated, although I can feel your frustration. You need a job. You want to do something great for yourself. And then once you get there, you're going to be a little bit happier. That is the ideal thing. But, what is the magic statement to say to you is stay encouraged, do your research. I don't mind trying to help you. I can honestly tell you, I think I help most of the people I speak to, but not everyone. What were you going to say?
No, I said I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that is the thing we got to do.
Yeah, Mohammed, I'll give you an example. So when I finished my undergrad is kind of broad. It's applied technology and information systems. So it was like a mix of computer science, computer networking, and IS. And so it was like pretty much everything, anything to do with computers. I took a lot of classes in operating systems and stuff like that, like LAN operating systems, micro operating systems, just a lot of operating systems and networking courses and programming. But my first job was very high level. It was like really more like system security engineering, going through the entire life cycle. Now I took classes in that, but I was nowhere near an expert. But what I did was, when every time I took a new role on, I started like, okay, I need to focus on this, or if I wanted to do a new role, I needed to start, either get a degree in this or take class or certification. Like when I really started doing system engineering, I started focusing on, okay, well, what do system engineers do? So then I started getting involved with the International Council of Society, International Council of System Engineers in COSI. And then I started taking classes in requirements engineering, understanding things about earned value management planning, what the DoD's life cycle is. And so this was above and beyond what I learned in university by far, because now I was like specializing, preparing myself for the job that I actually wanted. And so that's one of the things. So in life, you can get the job, you can wait for the job that you want, which may take a lot longer, or you can prepare yourself for that job. And so when the organization calls you and say, hey, Mohammed, we have a job for you. We think that you fit the role. You have gained all this political knowledge. You can do the job. Now, one of the other things, and this goes back to Karen, for your friend who's not doing security work, one of the things that I would always do, I would always volunteer to do additional work. It's not going to do long because you end up getting stuck and you don't want to be that person. But I was like, oh, okay, well, when I wanted to get into management, I need to show that I could actually understood things about financial management of DoD contracts. So I would tell my boss, hey, I will do your earned value report, this month. And so I would take on that job and do the reporting, start doing the project management, the risk management, all that stuff, all these reports for them. And so when I actually interviewed for a program management job, it's like, well, so Mo, what do you have? It's like, well, I haven't done the job technically, but I stepped in and done all these activities for my boss over the course of 2 years. So on my resume, it looked like I had 2 years of experience doing all these particular activities. And so your friend who wants to get into cyber, he should talk to someone at that particular organization and say, hey, you guys should be running reports to look at, I don't know, maybe code that needs dead code or whatever. I can run those reports. And so when that particular person starts doing that, they can start adding that to their resume in terms of experience. These are the other actions that they've done. They may not have the position, but if they can get the activities captured, then that's good. The experience means something. But after 2 years, you need to cash in on that additional free work. After 2 years, it's mute. You need to go look for that job that you've been doing that work for. Otherwise, you're just basically doing free work. But that is one of the easiest ways, I think, to gain that particular, experience and put it on your resume.
And that's exactly what I do with my patrons with my Patreon. I know exactly what I have them doing. They're doing work with me, for me. We do a lot more than what I even stated. But at the end of the day, I write them a little letter of recommendation to say, this person worked with me and did forensics, cryptography, et cetera, whatever we did, penetration testing. They understand this, signed Dr. Wesley Phillips. It's all about, like I put this picture up here on purpose, the importance of standing out. This is what we call competition. We're all competing. You want the career of your choice. You want to be paid well. You want to do something that you enjoy doing, whether you're getting paid or not. We have to do something to stand out. Mo just talked about Dr. Dawson just talked about what he did to make himself stand out. I did the exact same thing. While studying for my bachelor's and I'm working, I worked with the system administrator at work. I'm studying this in school. Can you show me how to do this stuff? He was like, absolutely. I already had the clearance too. He brought me in. I learned system administration. I didn't know how to do that stuff. I just knew theory. Pardon me. That was some of the best things. That was the best thing I ever did. In addition to that, I self-taught myself how to do penetration testing. Then I sought some mentors. Some of them taught me something new. A lot of them too were like, oh snap, I didn't know you could do it like that. I self-taught myself Linux, Python, command prompt, PowerShell. And I took my students to their very first hackathon and we came in the top 10% of their very first hackathon. It was also my first time coaching them. And I'm proud papa because I felt like I was coaching them well. Could I coach them better? Yes, because I want to get the first 1%, top 1%. But at the end of the day, even if you fail, you started something, you may fail, you can learn so much from your failure. Just don't be afraid. Figure out what are the top 2 or 3 things that you like the most in your programs. And then let's find out who's doing that in the real world. Maybe you can speak with them. Maybe they will mentor you. Go on LinkedIn, find somebody. Can you mentor me? Do you accept mentors? You know, you have any positions there? I just want to shadow you. Maybe they'll help you. Think outside the box. Thinking outside of the box is what makes you this red man right here in this diagram. Thinking in the box, you're just like everybody else. What are you going to do?
One of the good things right now with COVID is that a lot of services have went online, right? A lot of events because of COVID. So capture the flags, great way to put experience on your resume. You've done so many capture the flag events. You've ranked amongst your particular peers at a particular level. In terms of volunteering, there is the Cyber Patriot, and all types of schools need individuals to help them have their particular high school students prepare for doing basically a capture of the flag at the high school level competition. But you can help out that way. And myself, I don't know everything, but when I'm teaching people how to do things, or there's a particular problem that arise, I expand or I relearn or learn for the first time how to do something in a particular way. So I think that is important. I like what Wes said when he said in terms of what he did to actually pass the certification, because for myself, I do things a little different. Like I'll write the item down. I'll read something like, okay, well, what did I really get from that? I'll write it down, go back at it as, okay, well, this is how I interpret it. And then from there, it helps me memorize the items. Those week boot camps, what they do is they give you all the information and they just dump it to you. You take the test, you pass the test, but after that, you lose it. The key is to retain that information. So that's why I really think it's good to do it over a particular period and then find a way, figure out the way that you learn, right? What is the best way you've learned, and use that for studying for the certification. Because, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 a pop is not cheap. In so many certifications, you could pay extra and stay at a hotel where the actual instructor is, and that's another $1,000, $2,000. It can get extremely expensive.
Yes, it can. And if you do something over and over again, you can teach it to someone else. That means you understand it, you know it. You know, so when I teach classes, I do presentations frequently. I did a presentation in Richmond a year and change ago, and it was a cybersecurity presentation. I put a cybersecurity problem up on the board. I don't know if they've done capture the flag or anything or not, but I put something there that was fairly easy, and I wanted to make it interesting. And what it was a binary value, zeros and ones, and there was a message. And I said, hey, you all are here to learn cybersecurity. I'm going to give you a task. Let me see if you can sink or swim. I said, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to solve this, and I'll be back. Bye. And I walked away. They looked at me like I was crazy. I didn't even introduce myself. I came back 5 minutes later, and by the way, I was on the sidelines just looking. They didn't know where to start, didn't know what to do. So I spoke out loud as I did what I did, and it took me maybe 15 to 30 seconds to solve the problem. And then when I solved it, you had 3 or 4 people saying, oh yeah, that's what I would have done. And I'm like, okay, but you didn't do it. But I like to see them struggle a little bit, because that's what we do at work. My boss may give me a task and I'm like, how am I going to do that? I want to put you in positions where it's going to emulate or simulate what you're going to do in the real workplace. That's one of the best ways to learn. You struggle a little, but I'll be on the sideline saying, do that right there or do this. I won't give you the answer, but I'm going to give you some golden nuggets, some tidbits, so that you can say, oh, and now you're going to keep continually discover. So if you can find a place where you can actually put your hands on it, some things to do, some tasks, some projects, you'll be surprised how much you'll learn, even if you've never done it before. Does anyone else have any other questions? Someone said still white screen, Wes. Oh, that was you, Mo. You still can't see my screen?
It's good now. You're good now.
Okay. Okay. I'm like, man.
Now, one of the things I failed to mention is like Wes is like what, 3 black belts and like all types of different martial arts, and he's done a lot of kung fu movies or martial arts movies. So there's other really cool things about Wes I didn't get to share, but Wes is like a real life bodyguard type guy.
Occupational hazard working for the United States Secret Service. But I don't know how many degrees I have in martial arts, but I know I studied about 6 different styles, and it just keeps me in shape. And at the time I needed it for my profession. So, and I still need it because, you know, I have a son and he's kind of good and I can't let him topple me.
All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the recording.